How am I still getting used to the idea of having a camera? How are you guys? I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you guys are staying safe. Basically, I've been getting a little tired of ranting and bitching about my own kind, you know, the influencers, the content creators. So I thought that I should bitch and rant about another set of people. So I decided to watch Feels Like Ishq on Netflix, and it was a really hard journey. I really want you guys to know what I went through. So I saw the poster and everything and I got very excited. It looked very promising. So I binged the first 4 episodes in one day. Every single episode was even more disappointing than the last one, except for one. Just one, and we will talk about that, which comes in like a fresh breath of air. We will talk about everything in excruciating details, so stay tuned to know which one episode did not make me want to smash my head against a wall and cry. The first episode is Save the Date, starring Radhika Madan and Amol Parashar. Great actors. I was so excited to see them together, but oh my god. Radhika plays a borderline alcoholic, Geet from Jab We Met, who manipulates the wedding planner to accompany her to find her best friend who has run away from her own wedding. I have a lot of problems with Radhika, right? She is the stereotypical bubbly, pushy brat that thinks she's going to change everyone because she's simply very talkative and outgoing, and it's just honestly so annoying. There's this one scene where Amol and Radhika are on a boat and Amol keeps getting calls from his boss. Our main character does not like the fact that the man has to earn a living, so she takes away his phone and throws it into the sea, and it's honestly the most cringeworthy and annoying scene I've seen in a long time. The character that Radhika plays, it's honestly one of the most unlikable characters on Netflix, and Netflix produces some really bad characters, you know, some really problematic characters. I mean, this girl, she has some issues. She is drenched in entitlement and she has this sense of superiority. She keeps saying this one line that bahut paisa hai, and it's honestly just, you guys can still watch it if you want, but if you listen to me, I would want you to skip it. It's going to leave a very bad taste in your mouth and you're just gonna lose all hope for the entire series, which is not a good thing because the rest of the episodes are actually not that bad. This is one of the worst episodes. The second episode is Quarantine Crush. It's the story of a young Sardar boy and a girl who has come to visit her grandparents, and she has to quarantine for 14 days, and she ends up living in front of the young guy's house, which makes them neighbors. Now, before I start ranting about how problematic the characters were, let's just talk about this one character that I absolutely fell in love with. It's Manjeet's dad. He sells bras for a living, and he has this entire monologue where he tells Manjeet how to make women feel safe when they are inside his shop, as women have a lot to deal with already when they're outside his shop. That made my heart go, oh. Manjeet, on the other hand, is a stalker who likes stealing bra straps and WhatsApping girls pretending to be his own mom. It's just a very weird trope. Now see, I'm from India, right? And I know how normalized and romanticized stalking is in India. Agar ek ladki ne mana kiya hai, if a girl does not like you, what is the next logical step that you take? You stalk her. It's simple. Bollywood has taught us all that. Who wants to get to know a girl first and take things slow because the girl is just not comfortable? Let's just stalk them and pretend to be our own mom on WhatsApp, so that last में सच बोलकर हम लोग खुद ही hero बन पाएं. So the entire thing is based off of how Manjeet is very shy and he uses his mom's phone to talk to this girl that has come from Canada. And they actually form a very nice innocent friendship, and then he comes across an article about stalking, which boom, makes him realize that stalking is actually a thing and it's really bad. First off, sir, have you never stepped out of your house? Have you never gone to a school? Have you never talked to your maybe parents, adults, friends, anyone in general. Even if you did not know stalking, you still know that these things are supposed to be considered being creepy. I don't know, like how sheltered have you been all your life to not know that you are doing something wrong? Also, when your dad was telling you about women feeling unsafe on the streets, which men was he referring to? What situations, what circumstances was he referring to? It's Manjeet is honestly either really ignorant or he's just an asshole or both. I don't know, but he's really fucked up. There are also a lot of weird sanitization scenes. There are constantly scenes of them spraying the gates and everything, but the guy is never wearing a mask. No one should come up with the argument that he might not have masks because it was in the very first stage of the quarantine. I saw the guy trying on masks. He tries it on, keeps it, and then never wears them again. It's so problematic, so wrong in so many ways. This episode has so much potential. I really like the guy's acting. He looks really innocent, looks very cute. So in my opinion, it is a little problematic, but if you guys want to watch it for Manjeet's dad. He's one of my most favorite characters. The next episode is Star Host. So let's just start with the positives. The visuals of this episode are really pretty. It's shot in some really beautiful place around Mumbai. It's just so visually stunning. The colors, the direction, everything is beautiful. I absolutely love how it's shot. I love the actors. They have done a great job. They look really cute together. But the story of a damsel in distress and a grown-ass man with no job, no house, no earnings is just... It's like a really poorly written Ye Jawani Hai Diwani with a story written maybe in the 90s. So the girl breaks up with her boyfriend and comes alone to the trip that they planned together to find herself, to let a strange man tell her that she's good enough. You can see me scratching my shoulders because that is how uncomfortable I am. It's just not good. The entire storyline is so problematic that women somehow always need the help, man. It's always a woman in trouble, and she branches out to a man she barely knows, and that man somehow makes her feel better about her entire life and her entire existence. It's so tiresome. So in my opinion, if you guys want to watch this for the actors and for the beautiful shots, not for the story. The story sucks. The next episode, She Loves Me Not. I might get cancelled for saying some things that I want to, but I'm still going to because So this is the token gay love story. Like every other Bollywood movie has a token gay couple or a gay instructor or a gay teacher or a gay best friend. This series has a token gay episode. The story is about a closeted gay girl who falls in love with another woman who is very outspoken, very in touch with her sexuality, and the entire story is just about them. I am all for representation and being allies and stuff like that, but this episode just lacks everything. It's just so shallow. It is literally sitting on the top level. The entire episode is based off of the curly haired girl's crush on this other woman and her struggle with confessing her love to the other woman, but when that scene happens, it's a blink and miss. You cannot even tell that something actually happened there. This episode too, it could have gone so well if just it was written better. It's super boring, very bland, just a lot of loud colors and extremely out of touch lingo which is used. It's a hard pass for me. The next episode is Interview. I don't know what happened here, but all of a sudden feels like Ishq gave us an episode that is actually really nice and that actually feels like Ishq. So the Interview is about two people who are candidates of the same post in the same office, and they are there for an interview, and one person is South Indian, he's a Malayali, and he does not speak Hindi too well, but the other girl is a resident. She has like a great grasp over interview skills since she has already given like a bunch of them, and she ends up giving him some really valuable tips, not just for the interview but also for his life, and they end up becoming like really good friends, and the relationship and the chemistry is just so beautiful. It just warms up your heart to listen to their stories and their struggle, and how much of a struggle an interview actually is. So if you guys do not have the time to watch the entire thing, watch this one episode. It's just 20-25 minutes long. Just trust me on this, watch this episode, it's really good. The next story is Ishq Mastana. It is based in Delhi. It was actually one of the most promising episodes because I am really into the whole Ranjana trope. So the story starts off with a guy who has apparently had a really bad breakup, and he's on the look for a rebound, which is how he meets this girl who is really actively involved into protests and stuff. The entire thing reeks a little bit of entitlement, and honestly it's a little ignorant. So the main guy's name is Kabir, and they also sing Kabir's song, like the poet Kabir, his songs, which is all just so out of touch. I think it has been wrongly glamorized. Fighting for your rights and, you know, speaking up for the right is not always this rose-toned. I think they were taken in a police van and they were left in the middle of the road. But I honestly think if this series was realistic, you would actually come back with a lot of broken bones and a lot of scars on your face, which just sets really unrealistic hopes for the youth that does not have any idea what is going out in the country. I can say this because I know that a lot of people that are not from Delhi, they absolutely have no clue what it is to be like at the epicenter of every single political protest and every single thing that is happening. So many people are so out of touch, and by making series glamorizing those things and making it look very somehow shallow, it's just not right for all the people who actually have the balls to stand on the ground. But that's a whole another thing. This entire episode just made me really sad. It makes me very disappointed that this really nice story that could have gone really well, it was just shot down by really bad writing, and yeah, mainly the writing, because the actors are still pretty good. It is showing everything in a very bad light. It in no way touches onto the real seriousness of being in a protest, of even being around a protest site. It's not nice. I think it's very tone deaf, given so many protests and so many things are happening for human rights in our country as we are speaking. All that you guys could have thought of is making a girl and a guy fall in love at a protest. And yeah, you guys can skip this episode too. It's actually really bad. If you guys want, if you guys have the time, watch Ranjana instead. It has a great story. It's obviously a legendary movie, and if you guys haven't watched that, watch it right now. And that is the end of my first ever review. If you guys liked this, let me know so that I can, you know, watch more things and talk to you guys about more things, because I love talking to you guys. I love sharing what I think. This is the one platform that I can be truly honest on, and if I don't like something, I can tell you guys that I don't like that thing, which is a great thing to have. So yeah, let me know. Also, this was my first ever review, so please be a little forgiving. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys have constantly given me. I love you for that. I think that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Am I in a Netflix show right now? I'll see you guys the next time. Bye!